Hello everyone, welcome to today's episode of the Skirka podcast. I have got Lucas with me, our main commentator. So how are you today, Lucas?
Oh, I'm really good. Thank you for asking. It's Friday. It's kind of sunny, plus 15. It's a pretty nice
Uh,
way to start weekend.
yeah, as usual,
How are
thank you
you?
for thank you for sharing. How's the weather there in Finland? It's always good to know how's the weather there. Thank you very much. I'm doing well too. Just like Fenerbahce just left the Audi Cup tournament. We faced Bayern München and then Real Madrid, two difficult teams. Unfortunately, we lost both of the games. Let's start with the Bayern München game. So basically, can you just talk about I think you watched the game, right?
Yeah, both of them.
Unfortunately, we all Fenerbahce fans are unhappy with the score 6-1. But the main problem is defense as everyone mentions. So basically, you could just talk about the Bayern München game.
Yeah, it was a really horrible game. I think
Mm-hmm.
6-1 was maybe even flattering us. It was just terrible. We really didn't have any defense. Like in the
Mm-hmm.
first half, they scored those, and I think if they would have continued the same way, they would have scored five more.
Yeah.
It was just terrible. It was really embarrassing to to see us playing like that. But what can you do? We don't have
Mm-hmm.
defenders,
Yeah.
so it's not really. It wasn't really a fair battle because I think even a mid-table team in Super League would trash us if we play without defenders. Because
Mm-hmm.
after Hassan Ali got injured, we
Yeah.
only have like two defenders, and
Mm-hmm.
Dirar had to play on the left side, which is not really his place,
Mm-hmm.
and we had Jails on there. Even though he's doing quite good, he's still a midfielder. So it wasn't really in one word. It was horrible.
Yeah. Well, Sergio Gnabry, I think he got injured as well by a München attacking winger. So he had to leave in its 12 minutes, and Müller took his place. I think that was the moment the game has changed, because Müller scored a hat trick against us, and he played fantastic. But maybe that's the reason. I mean, he played good because Hassan Ali got injured, so he had to left.
Mm,
As you said, he
yeah,
had to leave. So Nabil Dirar had to play as a left back, and this is the position Dirar isn't used to. I think in his career, in the first time in his career, he played as a left back. I'm talking about Dirar. So
yeah,
I'm pretty much it was very tough for him, and he had to face against a very good player. Milan, he's not fast, but he's a very clever and technical player, and you see the goals he scored. Um, and as you mentioned before, Hassan Ali got injured, so I think he's out of 10 weeks.
yeah.
Something.
That's a
So it's
huge
very
miss.
it's very bad news for us as we don't have any left backs left. Yeah, we got up to Jabrail. He's a young one.
Mm,
17 years old, came out of our youth academy. But he needs to get that. How can I say? He needs to play, and he's not ready for the Super League in my opinion. So we definitely need to sign another left back. Though
yeah,
we are linked with Colorado. Some rumors saying it's a deal done, but still not official. So I don't want to believe anything until it's not official. Um, let's get back to Bayern Munich game. Yeah, we lost 6-1. They scored 5 goals in the first half. So do you think, they would have scored five more in the second half?
yeah.
But do you think we just took the control in the second half, or just Bayern Munich they just didn't really take it to just like took a little bit slow down?
Yeah, I think they just slowed down,
Yeah,
and it was over already.
yeah.
Uh, Both teams they changed in the end almost the whole the 11 in the field. So it's the second half was just I think both teams were like, okay, let's just play 45 minutes more and let's go home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Uh, There was a problem between the fans in Munich and Diro. He got booed by the fans, and he
Mm.
took it seriously. He just wanted to leave the field. But the coach Arsenal and Emre Belözoğlu, they just send him back to the pitch. I always say that it's not good to boo the players during the game. So what do
Yeah,
you think about that booing stuff? Because and unfortunately, Fenerbahce fans, I've been doing this for a long time, and it doesn't help.
yeah. They have been doing it. You know,
I think
since we
I started with one person's case as I remember, maybe even
maybe with
before.
maybe with Emenike, I think it
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
like
That was yeah. Hmm.
yeah, it was Ismail Kartal season, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
what's the result? We haven't won a single title after that, so
Yeah.
it's not really good thing. It doesn't help anyone. Of course, it helps Galatasaray and Besiktas and all the
Hmm.
other teams, but not our team because it doesn't only affect the player who's playing there, but it also uh, affects the other players because
Hmm.
they are teammates, they are friends, and it doesn't really increase their motivation to fight
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
fans.
They make things harder
Yeah,
actually for
definitely,
players as well. Yeah.
definitely, because
As,
it doesn't really change anything. Uh, what can we do now? Like we didn't have any
hmm.
left backs,
Hmm.
uh, and he
So he
did.
had to. Yeah.
Yeah,
I understand the fans. They want success. This is very normal. Of course, they will say their opinions about anything freely. But I'm just saying that. But what I'm trying to say, it's not. It doesn't help, as I said before. Being a player during the match, it doesn't help. It makes things get worse.
yeah,
It makes all players' morals go down. And this is something
yeah,
very bad for Fenerbahce, and it damages the club out and on the field.
yeah,
Hopefully, this will change soon because um, it's not about just in Germany. We used to do it in our home stadium. So hopefully
yeah,
we will stop this very soon. Yeah, of course we are right to do. We are right to tell if a player doesn't play well, if player doesn't care. Of course the fans will say things about that player. But just booing doesn't help. That's for sure.
yeah. I would understand in some way if some player was really disrespectful for Fenerbahce, but
Hmm.
Dirar has always give his best for the
Yeah, yeah,
team. He
yeah,
always fights. He last season he was amazing for us. So I don't.
yeah.
It's really and this was still, even it was Audi Cup. It was against Bayern Munich, but it was still practice
Hmm.
for the new season. So why on earth boo on player that has always fought for us and is playing in in wrong position? Uh, so why to boo to him?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
really get it.
And in Dirar's first season at Fenerbahce, he was named trash by the fans.
Yeah,
But he didn't care. I mean, he didn't give up. So he still did his best for the club. And as you saw, he didn't do anything like very disrespectful.
mm.
So he doesn't deserve none of just saying for none of our Fenerbahce players. But by the way, we are mentioning again. I want to mention our lineup. We played Mauricio Isla as our right back.
Yeah,
Do you think Murat Salam should have started over Isla? Because Isla only did. I think he only trained with the club for once
yeah,
because so he wasn't really ready.
yeah. I
Uh,
think Murat would have been more ready, of
yeah.
course, for this. But maybe it was also Ederson wanted to give Isla also some time on the field because the season is coming. It's only 2 weeks away when the
Hmm.
Super League starts. So of course Isla also needs to get some playing time because this is
Yeah.
only preseason. Uh, but yeah, Murat has been really good. He seems ready, I think.
Yeah. And then when we signed him, everyone was wondering who's that kid.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
No one knew about him. Yeah, same for me. But he's really amazing. You know,
Yeah.
I'm really amazed by his performance. He's just, I mean, I wasn't really hoping, I wasn't really thinking that we sign a really great talent like him. Very surprising name. And our only goal against Bayern Munich came from Max Cruz, our new signing.
Yeah.
So could you just tell us that about that goal? Because he was, I wasn't really expecting him to score because, like Bayern Munich players, they were like almost covering him, so he was alone. He
Yeah.
did something, and that was a very nice finish, and that was his weak foot.
Yeah. It was really
It's such a
good
class
goal.
goal,
Yeah.
that shows how classy he is.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really good goal. Nice finish. What can I say? It was that's something I'm hoping to see from him also in the league, and I think we will see.
Yeah, same. And our second game, it was against Real Madrid. That
Yeah.
was a very entertaining match.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was.
it was for real. Like we lost 5-3, but like we scored the first goal. What do you think about that game in general? Like, were you expecting us to score 2 goals against Real Madrid?
Not really, even though Real Madrid hasn't been really good this preseason. But but yeah, to score three against them is really good. And the way we scored, we scored three really good goals. Comparing the 11 goals we conceded, I think none of them were really like they were only because of the mistakes we made,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
really like made goals. So yeah, I was really happy to see. Of course, Osan's goal was really was crazy goal. It was really
Mm-hmm.
amazing goal.
Diego Reyes, I mean, he cost us 2 goals, like personal mistakes. Last like three actually for
Yeah,
that
three I would
that
say.
ball. He doesn't look ready. He did very good job with the Mexican national team. Even won a tournament before arrived in before he joined before he came back to Fenerbahce.
Yeah,
He does quite well in the Mexican national team, but when it comes to Fenerbahce, he doesn't do well. I'm not sure what's wrong with him. But it doesn't look like things are going well for the Mexican defender.
yeah, yeah,
And somehow I feel like he can't really concentrate to his football in at Fenerbahce, and I think it will be the best way for the both side for Diego Reyes to leave.
yeah,
And
definitely.
he played with Jailson as centre back, and that the first time they played together. I understand that, but still, like Jailson, he's been impressive, right? He's normally he's a midfielder, but Arsenal used him as a centre back in all friendly matches,
Yeah,
and he did well. I mean, I can't even remember his mistake. It's very surprising. What do you
yeah,
think about
yeah.
Jelson's great performance as a centre back? Do you think we could use him as our centre back?
I hope not. Still, even though he did well, he didn't make any major mistakes. I still think we need real center backs in the long
Yeah.
run. In the long run, I think it will, of course, cost some goals to have player playing out of position.
Mm-hmm.
So, and what comes to Diego Reyes, I don't know. He was really bad also last season. He seems like a really nice guy, but I have never seen, honestly, I have never seen worse defender. Like
Mm-hmm. Oh, for real.
there's there's just nothing, from where I could even, think that he's professional footballer. I have seen in publics, better defenders. His positioning is so bad, and
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know what he was doing there. Just like was he trolling or what? No, I don't think. I think
Well,
he's
I think
he's trying his best, but
yeah.
he's just not so good.
I think he plays well when he plays with his teammates that he's used to. You know what I'm saying? And well, yeah, I can't say he's a good defender. He's not at that Fenerbahce level. But to be honest, he wasn't given lots of chances last season, and he when he got chance, he played as a defensive midfielder.
Mm.
So I can't really blame the guy. But so far, especially that Real Madrid game, almost all Fenerbahce fans they gave up on Diego Reyes. Sad but true. Yeah, as you say, he looks like a nice guy, but I think also he's not at Fenerbahce level, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for about Real Madrid game, if it wasn't for personal mistake, I feel like we would have won against
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think we
and
will.
of course, stunning performance from Altay Bayındır, the 21-year-old young goalkeeper. He looks really decent. I'm very happy we signed him,
Yeah.
and I know that next season he will take the goalkeeper spot. In my opinion, what do you think?
Well, just basing on that game, yeah, I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he has lots of potential, and he
Mm-hmm.
did really well. I think he could really become one of the best goalies in Turkey.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Uh, Also, Real Madrid, yeah, they scored three goals against us. Some say Real Madrid currently is not doing well. Just saying for us. But it was still an entertaining match. Really loved it. And as I said before, it wasn't for a personal mistake. We would have won against Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Uh, and and if you look at the lineup we played against Real Madrid, very surprising names that in the squad, like Fadi Kadıoğlu
Yeah.
started against Real Madrid. So what do you think about Fadi? What do you think about his performance by so far? Because he played almost 20 minutes against Bayern Munich as a
Mm.
midfielder. Yeah, he looks like uh, he's a 30-year-old player that played in very top teams. He looks very cool. Like I like his playing football style. He doesn't look like he's very excited. Young players when they get the ball,
Yeah. Yeah.
they're excited. They don't know what to do. But I don't see that in Ferdi Kadıoğlu. So he looks very decent. And in that Real Madrid match, Murat Salam and Ferdi Kadıoğlu they played together. Like Murat Salam as a right winger, a right back, Ferdi Kadıoğlu as a right midfielder, and they almost outplayed Eden Hazard and Marcelo. Very
Yeah.
stunning performance from that young guys. I was very happy because I was very happy for Ferdi as well because he didn't give up. He was. We know that he was unhappy when Arsenal didn't play him. He also deleted his Fenerbahce pictures on Instagram. So it was clear that he was unhappy. But when he played, he did his best, and he showed everyone that he got it. He's talented and he can play. So could you just tell your opinion about Ferdi?
Yeah. I
I
was
mean,
really.
are you impressed? Are you impressed by his performance against Real Madrid?
Yes. Yes, I am. I wasn't really sure because that was maybe the first time I really saw him playing. Like last season, the 12 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really long enough to judge, what kind of player he
Exactly.
is.
So he needs to play so that fans and everyone can judge him.
Yeah, yeah. I think maybe this all the stuff that has been in media and in Twitter and everywhere, like and he deleted those photos. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
they had a good chat and they talk about future and they talk
Mm-hmm.
about how to you know behave and do things, and now he got his chance, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he impressed. So I would like to see more of him, but of course, it's still like we talked last time about the situation when he wasn't really playing that much,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and I thought that maybe it's something to do with the practice and his
Yeah. Yeah.
motivation. So
Mm-hmm.
I still hope that even though he would be the most the best young player on earth, that he continues training
Yeah.
and gives his all and play for the team. But yeah, with that performance, I really want to see more of him.
I'm sure Arsenal and Fenerbahce board they had a talk with Ferdi after that social media thing.
Yeah.
And I also want to ask you: do you think Arsenal would have given Ferdi a chance if it wasn't for that social media pressure? Because all over the social media, fans were saying that Ferdi Kadıoğlu should play, and they were also blaming Arsenal. So, do you think it is also one of the reasons that why Arsenal played Ferdi Kadıoğlu against Mali?
Well, I don't. Yeah, it could be. It could be. At least it could have triggered the thing
Mm-hmm.
that they had to sit down and talk more about the situation, and
Mm-hmm.
perhaps there was something like misunderstanding between both sides, and now it's better, hopefully.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could have affected, but I still hope that things would happen, in both ways, without pressure from the social media or fans. But
Yeah.
yeah, if this affected well, gave good results, I'm happy.
Yeah. I'm happy that social media thing had happened. That's we've seen Ferdi Kadıoğlu playing, and I'm very happy for that. I'm very happy for the kid. And do you think should Fenerbahçe send Ferdi Kadıoğlu on loan, or do you think he's good enough to play at Fenerbahçe for this season or more?
The competition for our midfield is quite strong. There
Mm-hmm.
are a lot of players. Uh, so I don't know if he wants like a lot of playing time,
Mm-hmm.
then maybe loaning would be good. But if he's willing and the fans are willing, to accept that he's not playing in every game,
Yeah.
then he should stay. But these
Or,
are always a bit also dangerous things that like now everyone are so eager to see him even more,
mm-hmm.
that the pressure comes too high and the coach cannot make his own decisions,
Mm-hmm.
and that's never too good in the long run. But
Yeah.
yeah, I hope that he stays. He's willing to really fight for his place, and maybe even though who knows, he could win the place and be the starter and be the
Yeah.
star man.
We've seen that he has that talent to win his place. And Ekiji gets injured very often,
Yeah,
and I can't really count on tall guy's performance. Ups and downs. So I feel like still he could play. He has a place in our our team, of course, and also he can play as a right winger. This is another case, and it will be useful to keep him. But as far as I know, he will leave Fenerbahce to join on. But we
yeah,
will see. Yeah, we will see. I still hope that he stays and plays very often. Yeah, I also, as you mentioned, the coach will decide this. How we will be without pressure because it wouldn't be good. But sometimes it's good to do pressure to see so you can see that how talented that kid is. Uh, Also, what was I to say? What do you think about Vedat Muriç's performance? Are you happy
Buras.
with Vedat Muriç?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, he wasn't. Of course, against Bayern Munich, we didn't really attack a lot. We didn't have so many chances. We couldn't, create anything. But he wasn't so impressive. He wasn't as strong as against, for example, the previous uh, opponents in this preseason. Because what I have seen before, he was like he won most of the balls. He was the strongest man in the field. But against Bayern Munich, he didn't look so strong. But against Real Madrid, he was already better. Yeah. And his assist for Didar's goal was really beautiful.
Yeah, it was class. Yeah, it was very
Yeah,
fantastic. Very nice
yeah, it
play.
split the whole defense. It's really
Yeah,
nice,
it,
and I have
it
high
yeah
hopes for him.
it shows that he has a very he has that vision.
Yeah, yeah, I
But
think
that
didn't he? Uh, give quite many assists last season for you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did. But I can't really remember how many.
yeah, but closer to 10, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Well, that was a very good tournament for us. We've seen our team, our players, and it was good. It's always good to play against big teams and tougher opponents. We showed that we can do our best once we are very motivated. We seen that against Real Madrid,
Yeah,
because after that defeat against Bayern Munich, things weren't really going well for the coach and for Fenerbahce board as well. So and they showed us that we can do anything if you're really motivated enough. So we did well against Real Madrid. And as I said before, if it wasn't for the personal mistake, we would have won against them. And once again, also our youth, our youngsters, they showed their class. They showed us that they got it. We can trust them like Altay Bayındır, Murat Salam, Ferdi Kadıoğlu.
mm,
Especially those three were fantastic, and hopefully we will see more coming out from them.
yeah.
And
Hopefully.
thank you for joining me, Kiss. Today's episode is about to be over.
Thank you. One more thing I want to say. Just
Yeah,
one
of
more
course.
thing. Yeah, just like this won't be so popular opinion, but I think Alper Potuk did just fine against Real Madrid. He
Ah,
gets so much sticks, so I think
so you were just wanted to
sometimes,
mention, yeah,
yeah, sometimes we have to give credit also.
sure, yeah. I think he's the most hated Fenerbahce player right now. You know, he's still our contract. He still has a contract with us,
Yeah.
and Arsenal. He tries to get the best out of Alper Potuk with that limited, transfer options.
Mm.
Yeah, he did. He did quite. I can't say he did well, but he did okay against Real Madrid. Hopefully, he will focus on his football because we know what he can do when he is at his best.
Yeah, I think he's getting there, and I think he's doing something right also in the trainings because he was one of the captains.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, well, it's really weird to see him as a captain, but especially for Fenerbahce, and they always criticize, to see him when they see Alper Potuk as our captain. But it's nothing to do if the coach wants him to be the captain.
yeah. So I think his personality must be quite good.
And the end against Real Madrid, there were no older players than Alper Potuk. I mean, like who has been in the club. When I'm saying older.
Yeah,
Uh, so yeah, and like imagine if he got Şikirtel or Hasan Ali or anyone, I'm pretty much sure Alper Potuk wouldn't have been our captain.
yeah. Of course.
Yeah, and he did that assist to Ozan also. Did that.
Yeah.
That was a
Uh,
stunner. Yeah, that was a stunner. Right. So if you don't have anything to mention, Yukis, yeah, it was nice to have you again, mate.
yeah, it's good to
Yeah, see you
chat.
again.
Yeah, see. You.
Yeah, yeah.
Bye.
If you still want to continue something, yeah, say it, mate.
No, it's all right.
Sorry if I cut you out. Thank you once again, mate. See you in the next episode, guys. Peace out.
Peace out.